Hello F1 and IndyCar fans. Today is February 23rd, 2020. Aren't you just getting tired and bored of waiting for racing action to occur? I know I am. It's 21 days to go till Formula 1 starts up in Australia in Melbourne at Albert Park, and on the same day the IndyCars take place on round 1 in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it's a long wait, but patience is a virtue in that field, so we'll see what happens. To bring up to certain racing news that some of you might not have known yet, I can tell you one thing. This year marks the final year of Aston Martin's collaboration with the Red Bull racing team. Yep, Red Bull's wings got clipped alright, because now, thanks to Lance Stroll's daddy-o of Canada, who is a very rich man by far, is persuaded Aston Martin to join Formula 1 racing for the 2021 season. Aston Martin is going to be taking over the Racing Point name. It will be known as the Aston Martin Racing Team. Now that's where the wings will fly, for good old Britain. The question is, what will the paint scheme look like? And will it be competitive to be up there with Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari? We will see. And it's all thanks to Lance Stroll's daddy-o, Lawrence Stroll, who's a rich man, as I said. And hopefully Aston Martin will let that fly very well. As for the latest rumors regarding Fernando Alonso going to Andretti Autosport for the Indy 500 this year, I hate to say it, but Japan's branch of Honda has vetoed this deal severely. So, for those of you who are anxious to see Fernando Alonso go back to the Indianapolis 500 with Michael Andretti, I sure was. I'm afraid it's hit the rocks real hard because of Japan's Honda branch saying no to it. And why? Because apparently Honda hasn't forgiven Fernando for saying bad things about their engines during the 2015 Japanese Grand Prix. He compared it, when his engine let go on him, to a GP2 engine, which Honda does not take very well to it. So, Fernando, I wish you would get down on your hands and knees in Japan, go to the execs and say you're very, very sorry if you want this to occur. So, what does that leave Fernando with? Any possibility with any IndyCar team that is not powered by Honda, and Chevy's his only option, but Penske and Ed Carpenter said no, they're not expanding to 5 cars this year at all. Not to suit him, but I'm sure Fernando's presence, if he can even make the field in any way whatsoever, would be a sight, and I just wish he hadn't said that, because I know it sucks when your engine lets you down and you are actually doing competitively well, but to cuss him out, like, for the whole world to hear, not a good idea, Fernando. Oh boy, oh boy. It's a big headache for us all. If anything, that's not so much a headache. To get back to British cars, the latest Formula E round, which took place in Mexico City back on the 15th of February, while he started second, Mitch Evans of New Zealand, driving his Jaguar-powered electric car, took victory in Mexico. It's Jaguar's second Formula E victory. Their first was in Rome back in April 2019. And as a result, Mitch Evans leads the drivers' points by 1, while Andretti BMW still leads by a whole bunch in the constructors. So Jaguar's starting to show some potential, and I'm sure all those of you who love cats around the world, I'm pretty happy to know about their British cousins taking victories, and who knows what some cute little kitties would have to say about Jaguar's victory in Mexico. Wait, what? Okay, for a cute little kitty to say something like that in reaction to Jaguar's victory, I guess they are saying that they are happy that Jaguar won it for Mother England. Well, in July this year, the last 2 rounds of Formula E season take place in London. I don't know where exactly, probably around the Docklands area, I think. Offhand, I don't know, but we'll soon see how that goes. And now that Fernando Alonso is out at Andretti Autosport, who will take his spot? Well, put away the bull and bring out the maple syrup with your pancakes, eh? It's James Hinchcliffe, back to race a 3-race deal for Andretti Autosport for the Indy GP, the Indianapolis 500 in Texas, but unfortunately not Toronto, as most Canadians would expect him to, because, well, that helps generate publicity for the Canadian race. But, hey, Am I complaining? To see James Hinchcliffe back at Andretti Autosport will be a sight to see, driving a Genesis-sponsored number 29 Honda. Yeah, isn't that amazing? James Hinchcliffe back in the Andretti outfit. Let's see how that goes. And I hope you're not thinking I'm kidding, because this is what the late Leslie Nielsen would say.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
With that said, James, I'm sure your fellow countrymen would also tell you and Michael the following when the Indianapolis 500 comes to town.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Well, it's true. Honda has said no to one Spaniard, that's Fernando Alonso. They have definitely not said no to another. Alex Palou Montalvo, a Super Formula driver who's driving for Dale Coyne Racing with Honda Power. He drives alongside Santino Ferrucci, who takes over the number 18 Seal Master car from Sebastian Bourdais. So that'll be a sight to see. And Newgarden said he has the potential to be Rookie of the Year. I hope that's possible. And would that mean a possible Indy-only ride for somewhere with Oriol Servia, possibly Rahal? Who knows? Now, to get back to Sebastian Bourdais, he may be doing full-time IMSA this year, but he also has a part-time job with AJ Foyt Enterprises to drive the 14 car for some races in the road and street courses alongside Canada's Dalton Kellett. And number 4 is driven by Charlie Kimball full-time. So where does that leave Tony Kanaan? He'll be driving only the oval races in the 14 this year. So yeah, this is probably Tony Kanaan's final year in Indy cars, although I don't count that out for sure, because anything can happen. But it's a shame to see Tony Kanaan go from full-time to part-time to, who knows, a possible retirement. We'll see how that ends up for Tony Kanaan, and, while it'll be great to see him win some races, who knows if that's possible. Especially with ABC Supply, like, no longer a full-time sponsor with AJ Foyt Enterprises since 2005. We'll see how that goes. Well, that concludes this video review or preview of the upcoming races that take place on March 15th. The St. Pete Grand Prix for Indy cars and the Australian GP for Formula One. Who will come out on top? We will see. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders. Oh, and congratulations once again, Mitch Evans, for bringing the British Cat a victory in Mexico. Good luck on the future races with Marrakesh this 28th in February.